Hello everyone, welcome back to a new YouTube cast. Today we're going to be having a look at Zest versus Stats. Just played in the most recent Olymon League. Yeah, top right we're going to be having Stats. In the bottom left we will have Zest, of course, as the trademark pink protoss player. Always picks that pink color now. Zest has been known for his solid PvP. He's been doing very well in it in the past couple of months. Stats hasn't been too much of a walkover himself. I think he managed to beat Hurricane in the GSL if I recall correctly. And both of them seem to be kind of tricky in the early game. Lots of proxies going around. Lots of mind games. So we'll see exactly what both players will decide to open up. You have second gateways going down on Zen, which is one of those maps where there's lots of spicy locations. You have this general area very close to the main base, which is kind of difficult to get to as there's a long way around. We also sometimes see players put a structure in their own, well, I guess it's the backyard basically. Looks like that's exactly what Zest is going to be doing. So when you proxy something over here, most of the time it's going to be one of the three things. It's either going to be just a regular proxy pylon, a proxy stargate, or it's going to be some kind of proxy DT, with proxy DT being very uncommon. And the probe staying here, most likely this is going to be a proxy stargate. Meanwhile here Stats actually building a second pylon at home and opting to not scout. Now this sends the same message as just proxying a regular pylon somewhere on the map. So what this does is it there's no scout coming towards Zest, and because Zest isn't scouting himself, he isn't actually aware there's a second pylon. So this late scout timing, or well, this non-scout timing by Stats actually makes Zest believe that there is some kind of proxy on the map. So both players believe that the other person is proxying. Now we have adapt into robotics facility opening here for Stats. We have adapt into what I can only imagine to be an oracle for Zest. In general, the quick Stargate player is in a little bit of a better position here. You see the first two adapts making their way across the map. The first two Stalkers have started as well. And this probe is just chilling out for now. We'll go in, spot the lack of a nexus. It's going to be very happy with that information as we have a bit of a standoff in the middle of the map. Stats managed to shade forward. Oh, you have... This is pretty cool actually. Zest tried to block this area, didn't quite manage to do it, and as a result we'll end up losing a single adept. The other side of the map we have Stats being chased away by two adepts himself. Should be able to shade out without any real damage here. Well, at least without losing something. Oh! This adept managed to catch that kill, so both players have lost one adept at this point. We see the first oracle being saved up. And we have Stats with the blind battery, Zest with a blind battery, but too late. Accidentally full walled himself in as well. Getting a robo, a third gate. I'm not quite sure what Zest believes his opponent is doing, but it's difficult to say sometimes to see what exactly is happening. We have the two oracles making their way across the map right now. Where's that Prism? Okay, Prism with two adepts. Heading on the map for Stats. Stats is kind of unaware of the fact that there is no nexus. Sees the Stargate though, so we'll keep his units in position, and I don't actually mind Stats' position very much. He most likely won't take a lot of damage from these oracles. One kill shared between them so far. His nexus is going to be faster, as Zest is still completely walled in. And these four adepts really pack a punch, eh? As we now see a Phoenix being started, but that probably won't finish it, as we have the four adepts of Stats over here, so we'll be able to right click down that pylon. Oracles coming back home, trying to defend this, won't be enough. Pylon falls, no Phoenix. If this gateway stays, or the Stargate stays unpowered, it's actually going to be really difficult for Zest to deal with Prism harass. We now have our first Immortal on the way as well. First Immortal is out already for Zest, who... he's just going to be down a lot in Nexus time at this point. Really needs to start working on this. I guess we're going to be seeing some kind of push here out of Zest. After a completely filled double Oracle opener, we'll try to get something done with an Immortal and a Prism, I guess. But I don't really see it happen, honestly. Here we have the probe. Probably will throw down a pylon. No, decides not to. Finally, the battery will go down. We have the 2 oracles. What have they spotted so far? They are aware of the timing of the Nexus. Yeah, it is looking very, very bad for Zest right now, honestly. No Nexus, no nothing. He has a lot of units, which is nice. We see, well actually, very similar unit count. Just 3 extra sentries for Zest. I think he just lost 1 or 2 in the main base, though, to these 2 oracles. We have another jump on top of the sentries. No jump. So the thing we're missing here for stats, really the only thing we're missing here for stats, is that he has no oracles. But everything else he's better in. He has more immortals, slightly less adept, but he makes up for that in stalkers, and he has a battery here. So unless he really messes up the micro, I don't really see a way for him to lose. He's also aware that there is no natural for his opponent. See Zest taking out another adept. 2 immortals against just the 1. What is this? So some aggressive battery usage here. We don't have a Robo Bay or anything on the way, so it's just going to be this. And you can see Stats is just outmining his opponent by 300 minerals at this point. Keeps warping in more stuff, is getting another immortal. I mean, batteries are good, but Stats also has 3 batteries already. He has a couple of force fields. He needs to be careful, actually. He only has 1 force field, I just noticed. Zest is somewhere around 7, 8 force fields. Throws down a couple of decent ones. Looking for an observer, finds it over here, not on top of his army. Zest is gonna continue just chilling here, and Stats is building a disruptor bay at this point. Interesting shade. Prism with 1 immortal and 2 stocks won't be able to do too much. Decent first force field here coming out of Stats. You should be able to get something done. Batteries though actually putting in some work. Good force fields out of Zest, really eliminating a lot of these stalkers from fighting. Bad pickup micro as he loses an immortal for free. Once again good, wow, second immortal goes down as well. Still some batteries remaining. Probes being pulled right now. This is looking very bad for Stats all of a sudden. I have no clue how this happened. He had a bunch of units in his main base, I guess. Felt like such an easy defense for him if he just picks up those 2 immortals that he lost for basically free. While the Prism was there, Prism does not get focused down. Zest moving forward right now. First disruptor is on the way for Stats, who seems to be basically losing unit after unit here. 2 immortals still alive. First disruptor should be out at this point. Yes, 2 adepts in the main base are being annoying. 5 workers have gone down. This Nexus is taking a lot of damage as well. There's still 4 batteries. 1 more, no. Not another immortal goes down. Good micro now. But this is what Stats needed to be doing earlier already. He was too sloppy with those immortals. He had 3 immortals against 1, but he just lost 2 against force fields, which should never happen if you have a Prism, of course. Zest once again going in for the split play. He doesn't want to be pushing in from one angle, because he will be fighting against disruptors and against batteries, which is not ideal if you're only coming from one angle. 2 more gateways on the way for Stats, who continues to be slightly up on income, as the main base of Zest has mined out, or at least 3 of the patches have mined out. Oh, there is a disruptor in here. Should drop probably both disruptors and start firing some shots at. The first shot, we'll be able to get 2 units. And every single time that happens is good for Stats, of course. So the longer this game goes on, the better it will be for him. Zest deciding... Oh, what the hell are we seeing here? Prism speed. No disruptor yet here for Zest, who probably is thinking of expanding at this point. So we might actually be going into somewhat of a macro game. Two immortals being put into the speed or potential speed prism. We have 2 disruptors in here for stats. This honestly is kind of cool. Not getting a disruptor, but just getting a RoboBay for prism speed. So you can micro it better. I think you'll be able to do a fair amount of damage here. There is nothing in the main base, no battery, nothing. I feel like you should have dropped a bit further in. Like these side pylons you can always pick up later, but killing probes is something that you can only do if it's a bit of a surprise, and otherwise the defending protoss will get in position. Double observer. Not sure why it shows double observers on the production tab, but it does, as we have the Phoenix. This is it. Very, very good play here by Zest, who repowers his Stargate. Knows that really the only way for Stats to do any kind of damage to him currently is to get this prism on his side of the map. 2 workers going down. Zest doing quite some damage here. Gets a couple more if he targets fires correctly. Oh. That should be careful here. Does not want to be losing any immortals. Right now 2 immortals, I think 2 disruptors on the map here. 4 stats, who is fighting against 2 phoenixes. 3rd phoenix on the way, as well as a disruptor here for Zest. So they're killing a couple of workers. Zest might be able to kind of get back into this game economically as well. He's still down 5 workers. You can still see in the income that he is decently far behind because of that. In that income, 300 minerals a minute is of course no small feat. We have double star. Oh my god. They're just copying and one-upping each other. It's like, alright, you're getting disruptors, I'll get disruptors. You get a Stargate, I get 2 Stargates. It's like, alright, you're like that, my friend. Now, it's important that this doesn't get scouted. And as I say, that it already has been scouted. I have no clue what that means. Probably telling him to piss off. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And he just said, I don't think so. Or leave me alone. Sad face. I lose him. Never mind. My guess Korean isn't quite as good as I'd like it to be. We have 4 phoenixes on the map here. 5 phoenixes for Zest. 2 for stats, but he's getting more every second because he's outproducing his opponent. 4th base should be on the way soon as well for stats, as he's the one with the superior economy. He should want to keep that lead. 2nd Stargate going down right now for Zest, as well as +1 air weapons. A lot of the time you see people skip these +1 air weapons, as +1 air weapons doesn't actually do anything. Only once you get +2 do you require 1 less shot on your opponent's phoenixes. Good disruptor shots here by Stats, who should recall this immediately. Oh, he's taking so much time here. He's gonna lose this. No, he's not. Managed to get it back home. Battery does its job. 3rd base on the way, so that was very big. 6 workers once again, giving a massive lead here for Stats. In supply, in economy, the problem is I'm not sure if he has enough phoenixes. Right now it's 6 against 6, so he also does have enough phoenixes. His ground army is of similar size, just 1 extra disruptor. This fight is going to actually be very, very close. It's all going to depend on the disruptor shots. And Zest only has 1 of them. Moving forward. Bad disruptor shots here coming out of Stats. Is there another disruptor on the way? No, there's not. Right now he's still even in phoenixes. Here comes the disruptor shot of Zest. Hits a big chunk of the army actually. And with some good micro might be able to actually take this home. 2 disruptor shots will become available soon again though. So we have the faster reinforcement. Phoenixes doing a lot of work here as well. Big hit on one of the immortals. So one of the immortals of Zest does end up falling. Zest without a prism at this point as well. Oof. Almost got that tight kill there with that 1 disruptor. It's difficult to see sometimes which units belong to who. So we have a couple of disruptors dropping down. 59 supply versus 48. So I think Stats will be able to win as there's not enough reinforcements. There is a pylon here for Zest, but these phoenixes will just be able to pick up every single stalker that Zest will be getting towards this fight. And with 5 Phoenixes against 0, a third base against just 2 bases, I have a weird feeling that this might be it. 3 more Stalkers are being warped in here for Zest, who tries his best, but Stats with the genius double Stargate play, telling Zest to get out. It was a great game. It truly was a high level PvP. Some gambles, but mainly very good decisions by Stats, I think. Really, after he completely butchered the initial fight at his natural, I think afterwards he actually played it quite well. Dodging Disruptor shit was easy peasy. Okay, we still have a lot of Stalkers here, so Stats does need to be careful, but these Stalkers don't have Blink. Now with the Prism you have something that looks a lot like Blink, but there's 5 Phoenixes here which should be able to clean this up. I don't really see a way for Zest to break this. 12 Stalkers, 3 of them get picked up immediately, or 2 of them. Immortal doing a lot of work here. GG gets called as Stats wins this game as well. Alright, that's gonna be it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a like, as it helps me a lot, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.